You asked me, wait, we're still recording this in the car?
Yeah, well, I thought... like,
my house is right there.
he forgot his phone and it had the light.
Yeah.
And so...
There are
like,
no
all right,
lights in here.
Yeah, so I guess we had to drive back to film in the car.
You laugh, but this happens all the time. Actually, not so much with the phone. Actually, that's pretty rare. I forget my phone because I get to the movies a little early and I gotta dick around on the phone a lot. But there's times when, like, Brian and I will be dropped off by, like, Letty, and then she'll pick us up. She doesn't want to hear me and Brian bitch about, like, the fucking gallows for an hour, so we'll take Letty home. Brian and I will drive over to the parking lot over there. We'll just review the movie in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, my house is right there, but it's like, fuck it, why break tradition of car reviewing? It's just like reviewing The Ridiculous Six again. Just right back there's where that fucking dog's always barking. That black fucking abyss of annoying dog. So I got to have one of my dreams come true tonight, which was seeing Lewis on the big screen.
Aw, yeah, it was worth the wait.
Yes.
We knew we're like, oh, this is in Minnesota.
Yeah.
He's probably in the crowd. And
He's
we
gotta be
waited,
there.
and it was like near the end of the credits, and then there he was.
Yes. He was the post-credits Marvel moment.
Aw, yeah. He's getting the band back together.
Yes. Lewis, will you join Rifftrax? Let me think about it. That's a cliffhanger. I gotta see the next one.
You guys can't afford me.
So we've now seen Leo, that sci-fi guy, on the big screen.
Yeah.
Now we've seen Lewis.
Yeah, well, he was in one of the other ones, but I just didn't notice him.
I didn't notice
in
him
the credits
either. And
before.
I wasn't looking for him last time, though.
Yeah.
This time, every shot of the audience.
Yeah, every time I was like, oh,
Is he there?
Oh, the lighting's
Is he
bad.
there?
What if he's in there?
That might be him. I don't know.
It was too quick.
Is that fat grandma? No, that's an actual old woman.
It's just a fat grandma.
Yeah. That's all we got to say. We're just going to talk about Lewis this entire time. Worth the wait, too, because this was 2.5 hours long.
Yeah, I thought it seemed a little long. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah,
It was long.
It was 2.5. That's a lot of riffing, man.
They picked some good shorts, though.
It capped it all off, though, with a good one. Now I know how I can act like a fucking crazy person and make clothes out of grass.
That's one that they've done on the DVDs before, because I've seen that, because Megan showed me that one.
Grass.
Yeah, is corn grass.
Man, I'm really glad they made a Wicker Man reference on that, because that's exactly what that was. Fucking Wicker Man training video.
All of those shorts, those At Your Fingertips shorts, are always golden because of the just fucking atrocious projects. Not a single redeemable one.
I don't know, I kind of liked the mask that the kid made at the end.
Because it was creepy.
Exactly, not a bad creepy mask.
If he was a serial killer, that would be perfect.
Yeah, he's the Joker crossed with Scarecrow. This works perfectly fine. Like, I got one right. Not so much the grass belt or the shit they're putting in their hair, now getting chiggers all in their hair. No.
The bookmark.
Mask,
the bookmark. It's like, what a dick move. You'd get grass stains all over this book.
You don't even need to you can just use a leaf of grass and use that as your fucking bookmark.
Or you could just not be an idiot.
Yeah, right.
Use an actual bookmark.
Yeah, or just remember what chapter you left off on. It's typically what I do.
My favorite short that they did was the Trace and Frank one with K's dates. Dates for K.
Uh-huh.
That was my favorite one. That one was really funny.
I'm a big fan of very dating, romance, husband and wife, 50s family type things between that one and the Darren McGavin one, where, oh man, he's got to do stuff around the house. It's 2 days the wife's out of town. What's going to happen?
Very antiquated gender politics.
Oh yeah, that was the original Hardee's commercial.
I liked, they had the one with, the dad from Christmas Story.
Yeah.
where the wives go away and the husband can't figure out how to do shit. Like, oh no! And they have him cooking something, it's boiling over, and just him staring at it.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do?
He starts cursing like the old man.
Yeah. It was straight up that character.
There's some
that
music.
about?
The damn dog listening to his fucking music. At nighttime, that's how he keeps me awake. My favorite one was Shake Hands with Danger.
Oh my god, you know what? That is my favorite one,
Yeah.
actually. I forgot, yeah.
I have not seen that one. Actually, none of these I had seen. I had not seen that one before. It was a snuff film involving machinery. The worst fucking employees that this company ever fucking hired. If someone's not getting their arm cut off, they're getting third-degree burns on their arm, they're falling to their death, they're getting... Was the guy shot? What the...
I don't know how that accident worked. They didn't film it competently enough to figure out what happened there, but like that got a genuine reaction out of me, the arm cutting off.
That was really like
that was
disturbing.
Really graphic. Yeah, I was like, oh, because like if I'm expecting it in a movie, normally it's not going to be like I'm like, oh, in the theater, but like they warned us at the beginning that there's industrial accidents, but they're done really shittily, so they're funny. And there was the ones you would expect, like someone falls off of something and shit like that. But then his arm's cut off really graphically and slowly. So it's not like one of those like quick cut. It's like you see the hand, and it was a really good prosthetic hand.
Yeah, like honestly, they spared no expense. This is like graphic qualities from like that fucking Footman Christian anti-communist movie I watched, about the same film quality too.
The hardest laugh I got though was from that short when the guy falls off the building or off the equipment, and they have the long shot panning in on him just.
Yeah, and with the theme music playing. With the theme music,
yeah, shake hands with danger.
Hands. It's like the worst like Hoyt Axton song you've ever heard in your life.
Holds on it for way too long. I was laughing my ass off at that. That was so good.
There was so much carnage in that. Like, was everyone just drunk in the 70s and operating machinery? Is that just what they did around this town? Like, I was preparing for the worst on every single one of them. There's one where the guy fucks up and he crashes like the bulldozer into the side of an abandoned house, and then it pans out, and this is near a cliff. I thought, like, is he gonna do...
I was like, is it gonna go off? But then I'm like, no, I don't think they would spare the expense to wreck the equipment.
Yeah,
is the thing.
They wanted you to think that's where it was going.
Yeah,
that's what the audience thought was gonna happen.
Is it gonna become like a little dummy, and then like, you know, like close up of some other thing, and then like little toy?
Yeah. It was really packed in there, by the way, in our screening.
Yeah, it was a lot busier than the usual Rifftrax.
Yeah, it was twice or 3 times as crowded as Independence Day Resurgence that Dave and I went to see last week. I like that. I like that this had a bigger turnout. I also really liked the talking cars. And that was the first one that it showed. So
creepy. It's because of the dog, isn't it?
Yeah, the dog does like the Duke thing where for some... Okay, so the kid almost runs out into the street, almost gets hit by a car. Dad takes this horribly, like, will not let this shit go. Like, gives him this long, fucking drawn-out speech, sends the kid to bed with nightmares.
You forgot
literally.
To see and be seen. You could have been dead.
I don't know what that means, Dad. CBGB? What? So the kid then has this dream that I guess the dog is also having, because the dog's also in the dream. The next morning, the dog's reacting like they were fucking sharing dreams.
Well, apparently, it was like Freddy Krueger, and the car went into his dreams. Because the car was alive at the end.
That's true. This car, so honestly, if the car had hit the kid, it would have been the car's fault. The
cars are sentient. Really, the car's at fault for this.
The car's sentient. The eyes are right at the front of the fucking thing.
Why are they acting all uppity about it? Like, you forgot. And like, well, why don't you watch out for the kids? Forgot.
Like, it's like this weird 70s, like, educational video that's taking place in the universe of that stupid scene in Transformers 2 where Sam Witwicky goes to car heaven. That happened. Only in this it was way better. Like, they got cartoon eyes and a mouth that they animate when they can. When it shows that they're moving, but they take a lot of opportunity to show other things as the car is talking.
Yeah.
You do what you can. You do what you can.
The production value was all right for a 70s short, but
Lordy, it did have animation
was in terrible shape. Lordy was in terrible shape, though. Like, all of the grain and the green shit and all that. Like, that was probably the worst looking one. Like, as far as, like, how preserved it was, I guess.
Yeah, that was right up there with we found this reel of film in a serial killer's basement.
I appreciated the talking cat reference.
I did too. That was immediately what I thought of when they said the title of this
thing. A talking cat?
Wait, you mean there's no talking cat in this movie? Well, we'll have that when that Kevin Spacey 9 Lives movie comes out. His life's been put on pause.
What?
Whoa. Like cat paws? Oh man, that's great.
I think the one that failed the most, the short, was the one with Bridget and Mary Jo. It took a while to get going. There were some laughs in it, but I felt like I don't know, maybe they flubbed a little more, or maybe it was just the short. I don't know. Like, the short was funny.
And that's,
because they had, like, the dad and all that stuff. But I feel like maybe the short was a little funnier than the jokes.
Yeah, it was one where I was watching the short more than I was kind of paying attention to the jokes, even though a lot of the jokes were funny. But especially that kind of short in that era, and having two women riff it too made it pretty good, because this was one of the 50s marriage shorts.
Yeah, some of the ones Mary Jo did were pretty funny in that one.
But yeah, I just liked seeing Darren McGavin curse up a storm. It was a much more well-preserved short than that car one, and the Darren McGavin one was probably about 20 years older.
Oh, it was like Los Reales. That fucking good.
Okay, there's a restaurant. I don't know if this is a
Dos
chain.
Reales or Los Reales?
Casa Real.
Casa Real. I didn't even get it close to right.
Casa Real is a Mexican restaurant here in town. I don't know if it's a chain or what.
I think it is.
Okay, we got 2 of them here in town. Their commercial was playing on the radio on the way up, and the commercial just straight up said, granted there's a bleep involved, but the commercial straight up says, yeah, it's that fucking good.
And this is like a generic chain Mexican restaurant. Like, if you've had Mexican food, it's not like this is like, oh man.
I've been to Casa Real a few times.
Good.
It's fine. Dave hates it, but Dave hates most restaurants. It's perfectly serviceable. I wouldn't even say it's fucking serviceable. It's serviceable.
Yeah, it's like the Denny's of Mexican restaurants is what it came off to me. But it's apparently that fucking good.
I go to Mexican restaurants when I want to go to a restaurant, but I am so, like, verge of passing out hungry, because Mexican restaurants will give me chips while I wait. Oh, thank God. I was also more invested in that Superman one, in the actual storyline of that one. Probably because I watched that show a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, yeah?
And I fucking loved George Reeves.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was nice, and the corn one, or the grass one, because, I mean, that one had everyone riffing together, and you finally got, Joel and Mike riffing something.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing compared to Lewis.
I wish that they had taken more time to talk about stories and things like that.
Yeah. Like, maybe take out one of the shorts.
Yeah, like, maybe just do one Riffapalooza, or mix, a few people together or something to, like, just shorten it by one, have a little bit of time. Because it was nice having them just shoot the shit about stuff.
Yeah. That was cool to see, especially all of them there together on stage. Yeah. I think my favorite one to listen to was probably Frank Conniff, because he just wanted to work Blue so bad. He just wanted to raunch that shit. I follow him on Twitter, so like he's raunchy as shit.
I think Trace was the funniest one to me. He made me laugh a lot.
He's always been one of my favorite ones anyway. It's great seeing this and all of them there together because it's obvious that there's a lot of love and joy in what they do. Like, I think it goes without saying that show, Mystery Science Theater, inspired countless people who do what we do for a living.
Yeah.
I would say probably 110% of them. Most likely.
Not Phelan.
Except for him.
Except for Phelan. Just hobgoblins.
He just watched Mac and Me one day and decided, fuck this movie. I'm gonna fucking talk about this. I don't even know what Mystery Science Theater is. The movie's just shit.
It's funny because especially his early stuff, it's so similar to Joel. Mm-hmm. Like this Mac and Me especially.
I like his earlier stuff.
This, and you take this.
Yeah.
You put it together and you get this.
Joel is so calming. He is. I could never really, because dear God, like we've all been asked this a million times, which one you like better, Mike Nelson or Joel Hodgson. For me, it really is more what I'm in the mood for. I don't know. That answer could change, like, depending on what day you ask me. Sometimes I'm in the mood for, a little more laid back, chilled atmosphere. Joel Hodgson watching a monster movie or a biker movie. Sometimes I'm in the mood for that. And then other times I'm in the mood for, Mike Nelson watching some cheese fest from the 70s. Like Angel's Revenge or something like that.
I like Mike better, but I think part of that is because they chose the movies better by then. They had the formula down better. Because there are some funny movies, but they did a lot more black and white ones with Joel. It was a little more low-key, and obviously the earlier ones, they didn't do as many jokes. It was a process. So,
yeah.
And I don't know, I think Mike's approach is a little broader because Joel's will be very niche about stuff, and a little more old-fashioned, so... And the Mike stuff, they would get more into, like, the 80s and 90s and stuff that was current then. So, but I mean, I like them both. Yeah, I enjoy them both, totally. But I guess if I had to have a preference, it would be Mike.
There might be more Mike episodes I like, but he was on more episodes, and it's kind of like what you said, where he did a lot more 80s cheese and 70s cheese.
Yeah.
Granted, I do like the monster ones a lot, and Joel did more of the monster movies, and I do like the Coleman Francis one. No, wait, Coleman Francis was Mike. Not Coleman. Ega. I do like the Ega type movies, which you would see a lot of on the Joel episodes.
Well, the Joel ones, it was great when you would get one that was a ridiculous movie, and it would be over the top, and then you would have just Joel, very low key, come in there, and it would be unexpected and really funny, like Alien Fugitive.
Yeah.
That had some really great ones. Or Manos.
Yeah.
And it was just funny, that juxtaposition of the really low-key humor with it.
And the ones that would kind of make Joel break.
Yeah, like
Manos
did.
Manos.
Do something.
And Castle of Fu Manchu. That's one of the few that I saw before I saw the Mystery Science Theater episode. That Squirm, I saw that before I saw it on Mystery Science Theater. Track of the Moon Beast.
I will say this. The Joel sketches were always better than the Mike sketches.
Yeah, they had the Invention Exchange.
Yeah, I mean, there were funny Mike sketches. There were ones that really made me laugh, but a lot of that, they had to involve the storyline stuff and things like that was required by the network that really didn't work for me versus just kind of dicking around and having fun.
Yeah, I liked all the different musical numbers on the Joel ones too. Like every Christmas Eve at night before I go to bed, I have Santa Claus Conquers the Martians on. But
I like the song they did in I Accuse My Parents, where they did the lip sync for Are You Happy in Your Work?
Yeah.
That was really great, with Joel going around like with the mustache.
I liked the song they did in Girl in Gold Boots, where it was the parody off of Critter singing that song about the girl, and then she's like superimposed above him, and
right, yeah, that one.
Mike's singing this song, and it's superimposed Crow, and part of the ship is on fire.
Yeah. They're like, I think that just ended with like, we made nachos. Ooh, nachos!
Yeah.
I loved the Where Oh Werewolf song. That was really good. Girl in Gold Boots had a really good sketch. Another sketch that they did where Crow's on the table and it's just his feet kicking his feet in the gold boots.
They're throwing money up at him and shit.
Yeah.
A couple of my favorite sketches were in Operation 007
That
when
was so good.
they were spoofing the villain from the movie. So it was just Joel walking in with that evil Bond villain music playing and just grabbing each one of them and
oh yeah that one when they're playing the Bond music, that one made me laugh my ass off, and I know Phelan cracked up at that too. Agent 007 was great. There was one, this is just like a memorable one, I forget what the movie was, but it was a sketch with Joel and the bots, and they were doing some sort of like intervention recreation with a bunch of toys, and they had a Ninja Turtles toy, and Joel goes, "I'm not gonna let you cowabungle your life." I don't know, that just really made me laugh.
I don't know what that one is off the top of my head.
No, I can't remember what that one was.
It's for about 20 years it's been my favorite TV show, but it's the kind of show that, unless you've seen a particular episode countless times, like I have with like Pod People and like Red Zone Cuba, you can just pop in a random episode and it'll be like the first time that you've seen it.
There's so many of them, and there's so many jokes, you're not going to remember all of them.
Oh, Lord, yeah. Oh, my God. I've got all the episodes in there that I bought from either the DVDs they've put out or just conventions. The ones that they can't release on DVD.
Yeah, circulating the tapes.
Yeah, these are definitely taken from tapes. And I think what really works about this is that there's never a sense that they hate movies. There's never a sense that they're just angry or bitter or cynical or anything like that. They come across very joyful in what they do, for one, and also that they do like movies and they're even having fun with what they're watching. I mean, of course, there's something like Castle of Fu Manchu or Manos or something like that that's just gonna piss you off, as it would like anybody. But like, okay, when they're watching the shorts tonight, it doesn't seem like they hate any of these or any of that.
No, and you could, like the grass one they picked because it was a favorite, because it just cracked them up. You know, and so and I love that montage they did of over the 10 years, just their favorite riffs, and it was like they were just quick enough to just hit you with like some of the best, and so it was really great.
Yeah, exactly. And I think sometimes that tends to get lost doing it, like, you know, whether not Mystery Science Theater or Rifftrax, but
the internet reviewer circle?
I sometimes that, and maybe it's just personal taste or something like that, but one, I have to get a sense that somebody actually likes movies, because if they don't, why am I watching this, and why are you watching this if you just don't like movies?
Well, I mean, you have to know movies to know why they're bad or to critique them. You know.
Or if you're, you know, it's doing something satirical with it, doing something obviously comedic, but like satirical, fun, like just still showing that you like a certain kind of movie and maybe exposing this movie to people in your own way through whether it's like satire or anything else, as opposed to just like everything, just the concept of everything sucks, I hate this, I hate that, blah blah, bitter, angry, cynical, just depression. Maybe that's just personal taste, but like, and maybe it's because I grew up watching this, that I just don't like the I hate movies attitude. I don't. And I think that over the years that's kind of gotten lost along the way.
Well, I really love about Mystery Science Theater is that it's sort of a celebration of mediocrity, of the underdog, you know, where it's like, most people be like, this was terrible, I turn it off, and it's like, no, let's just have fun with this. Let's celebrate how bad this is.
Yeah, and
let's
let's
have fun.
Yeah, and have fun with it, and also, like, it can make you want to seek out other things like that. You know, like if it's a particular bad movie that's entertaining and you're having fun with, maybe you'd want to see something else from that director, or maybe something else that's kind of like that movie, and just have some fun watching it. You know, it exposes people to a different kind of movie than they're certainly used to seeing. Which is my favorite part of what I do. Like, oh really? You've never seen this thing get fucked? Oh.
It's great, like, those undiscovered gems.
Yeah.
You know, and especially when you're seeing something like Mystery Science Theater. Rifftrax does more broad and broad things. You know, they'll do blockbusters and things like that. But Mystery Science Theater, mostly because it's what they could afford, it would be something you'd never heard of. So while you're hearing the jokes, you're discovering this funny movie, or sometimes a really boring movie that's made
sometimes
better. But yeah. You know, it's like discovering something new.
Yeah, and then, yeah, like you said, like, sometimes it's like, I don't know if I needed to see that.
Yeah, but it's like, well, I'm glad I only saw the Riff version. Sometimes it's like, well, I want to see this unriffed. I want to see what they cut out for TV.
What's the worst thing you've had to watch so far?
For my show?
Yeah. Is it Mr. Wrong?
For movie nights, it's Mr. Wrong. Definitely Mr. Wrong. I don't know what the worst one was for, like, just overall, like, obscure Sleeper Presents. Monster High was pretty bad, but it might be Mr. Wrong, honestly.
I've seen this movie. That was a terrible fucking movie. Like I was telling you when you were watching it, like when I was like, I forgot Stockwell was in that, I would have texted you. No.
No, but then that would just encourage me. I would be like...
It absolutely would, yeah.
I would be like, Dean Stockwell's in this really bad movie, but I was expecting McHale's Navy comedy bad, not old-fashioned bad.
Oh, no. So you had the same experience when I saw it the first time, which is not that it was going to be that fucking bad. Because I saw it in the theater.
No. Ah, what a train wreck. Anyway, so Mystery Science Theater. I don't know. Well, when you get like things like that, occasionally it's funny when it's something really angry. But you know, when you're reviewing stuff, it's nice to just have fun with it.
Oh yeah. Absolutely. Like, there's stuff that I've watched that's pissed me off before, like Nuki. And then there's stuff like that, like fucking Night of Horror, that's like Manos, where it's just like an abyss of... I have no idea what I'm watching, and it's really kind of numbing my brain a little bit. But
if that's all you review is stuff that like that, where it just makes you angry, it's gonna wear on you.
Well,
so
that one didn't
have like ones that are fun.
Night of Horror didn't really wear on me. It was just hypnotic. It was just hypnotic in how bad it was. It had to have been like watching Manos for the first time, because it's nothing happens in this movie, and it's so almost mesmerizing because of that.
Those ones I find so hard to work with, though, because they don't give you anything.
That
like,
movie
you know,
gave me
people,
dick.
Yeah, people ask, like, they're like, what's the worst movie you've ever seen? And I always say Jerry.
Yeah.
And Jerry is the worst movie I've ever seen. I've seen people go like, when are you going to review Jerry? You going to review Jerry? What do I got to pay you? And it's like, guys, you don't want to see me review Jerry. Nothing happens. It's two guys lost in a desert for an hour and a half. At one point, there's a 7.5 minute shot of just them walking away from the camera, no dialogue. Nothing to work with. Just take my word for it. It's the worst movie I've ever seen.
Look, just review it once.
Here's my review of Jerry. Don't see it.
Well, okay, that's the first review of Jerry. And then we'll take this part down, review it again, because you want to take out the comedy.
You know, as soon as I realized that internet reviews were moving toward comedy, I knew.
Just had to get out of that.
I knew I didn't fit in.
No.
I thought Doug was a serious reviewer, so when I joined Channel Awesome,
reviewer.
I was like, I gotta do some serious critical thinking here.
When I danced naked on the porch in Nudist Colony of the Dead, I did it to make the audience cry. Anything else would be gauche.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, me neither.
No, this is about.
No. This last 30 seconds was just for us. It made us laugh. I think Nuki's still probably the worst thing that I've done. But I mean, that, like I said, that's just, I prefer it more from like a Mystery Science Theater angle, or whereas like it's a character, and it's a character who's kind of talking about this, and there's a story kind of wrapped behind what they're riffing and what they're watching, or doing it out of like, you know, spoof or satire, or making fun of maybe a certain kind of culture of movie watcher, or again, the kind of show that just will expose you to like a so bad it's good kind of movie. Like I found out about like The Amazing Bulk because of your show. And what was that fucking what was that? The gay movie.
Ben and Arthur.
That one, yeah.
The gay movie. That's all you gotta say.
Yeah.
It's the gay movie.
Jesus Christ.
It's the gay the room. Ben and Arthur. You know what I love about Mystery Science Theater, though, as opposed to like a lot of internet critiquing shows, is that it feels like you shooting the shit with some friends.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's not necessarily a movie critique.
It's not at all.
Yeah, it's. I mean, there are things you can infer from it, you know, like from the jokes, but for the most part, it just feels like you're just hanging out, making fun of a movie. So you don't have to feel like, you know, you don't have to pay too much attention. You know, you just like riff it, and you're hanging out, eat some snacks, make some jokes, whatever, and that's really fun. You know, you don't feel like it just feels like a good time watching a movie.
That can take it a step farther, though, and then the audience at the movie theater will start riffing along with the riffs. I didn't really notice that too much this time.
Yeah, but
see... boy, howdy, that happened at the last one.
Yeah, but see, when it's the professionals...
Ooh, hang on. Blurry. Hey, what? Oh, there we go.
But when it's the professionals and people paid money to see it.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're hanging with your friends and you're making jokes, it's one thing. But if you're in a theater and people paid for it, shut the fuck up.
I did pay to hear, like, Granny Walker sitting behind Granny fucking motor scooter.
You weren't there.
Behind me.
You weren't there for this. I was going to ask, but you were... the first MagFest I went to, I think it was 9. Noah was doing a riff there, and that was the first time I met Noah, which was funny because we both lived in Arizona, but I'd never met him until we went to like I think Alexandria, and the hotel, it wasn't the Gaylord, it was a Hilton hotel, so it was not prepared at all for this convention, and they were doing it was Noah and I think Lewis and Justin. They were doing a riff of a movie, and they set it up in this tiny room that was crammed full past capacity. I think it was probably a fire hazard. Some people were standing because it was so full, and they were sitting in the front with microphones that barely worked trying to riff, and you couldn't hear anything because people kept making jokes over it. And it was hot and miserable. That was the thing. And I'm sure they were throwing out some zingers. They're all very funny, but I couldn't hear them. I never went to a Rifftrax like that, but that's the worst case scenario.
Oh, God.
If you're like, I want to hear some jokes, and people are like, I'm going to make my own jokes.
Thank you.
I'm going to quote something from Nostalgia Critic.
Maybe the guy who yelled in the Rifftrax thing tonight in their audience, maybe that was Lewis. Talk about my DVD!
Show your tits! Well, get that guy out of here.
I'm already showing my bosoms. Even Servo's naked too. He's got the flesh-colored Servo like, and I accuse my parents. Wow. The hell? Tom Servo, you're naked. Any final thoughts? Speaking of hot and humid.
You should watch this for Lewis, an encore performance.
Yes, go see the encore performance just for Lewis and just to see construction workers get horribly injured for like 20 minutes.
So good.
Oh my God.
It was really good to see. And for people that are fans of Mystery Science Theater, it was this great nostalgia trip, and everyone seemed to be having a good time. It was really great.
Absolutely. The audience had a great time. The audience in the thing had a great time.
It wasn't just a celebration of 10 years of Rifftrax. It was a celebration of 30 years.
Yeah.
So
a long time. God, yeah. Wow, it really has been that long. Jesus. Fuck. I remember, 20-some years ago, every Saturday night, me and my dad would watch Mystery Science Theater. I'll have to bring some of those DVDs over there to my dad sometime. Dad, we're watching EGA. Son, it's 3 a.m. Well, you're up. See it.